Now, there's really not a ton of gaming news that has been out because
besides the Switch.
Yeah, the Switch has kind of dominated
Yeah.
the news circuit as far as games go. But there are a few interesting movie topics to get into. So Ben Affleck, poor Batfleck, he had to endure the Batman versus Superman press tour, and people were destroying that movie. And now people have been bombarding him about the Batman movie. Because the movie was announced, and then they're saying, "Oh, it's going to come out sooner than expected," and then he's like, "Well, let's just back off a little bit on that."
Yeah.
Then it was rumored that he wasn't going to direct it. Well, now he's saying that he is going to direct it, and the title of this article, which is from comicbookmovie.com, Ben Affleck has had enough of being asked about the Batman, and it's such a pain in the you-know-what. Let's see. Poor Ben Affleck had to endure the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice press tour after those scathing reviews were released, and now his latest movie, Live by Night, which also isn't faring too well with critics, has been dominated by talks of the Batman. Based on the interview clip below, the actor and director has had enough of it, and he once again assures fans that he's making it, and they'll love it. Now, this is my thought on this movie. It has the potential to be, I think, the best Batman movie ever made.
Yeah.
Like up there with the Nolan movies. Mm-hmm. But the fans have got to be patient. And DC and Warner Brothers have to be patient. I would rather this movie come out in 3 years and it be amazing than it come out in 2 and feel rushed, convoluted, and awful.
And that's where people have the most issue nowadays is everybody expects instant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have instant food, instant drinks, instant this, instant that, and everybody's lost their ability to be patient. And you know, I'm not calling out millennials or anything like that. It's a whole different argument. But I mean, even for me and you, I mean, we do get antsy from time to time.
Yeah,
and a lot of people are getting antsy about this Batman movie, which I mean. Yeah, I know BVS was not great, but the portrayal of Batman, Batfleck is going to be great. And before someone jumps on me, I liked the movie, but we know that there was some issues.
Yeah, I've openly said, I didn't hate the movie like everyone else.
Yeah,
it had its flaws, but
overall enjoyable.
Why do people want it to be the exact same as a Marvel movie?
Exactly.
If you want it to be like a Marvel movie, just watch a Marvel movie.
Yeah, and I think that this could be like I already like Batfleck better than I like Christian Bale, and I know a lot of people have pooped on me for that, but it's cool. But I think that if you give him time, like we've seen a lot of these movies rushed. I don't know if the original Daredevil, I think it didn't it get rushed, or
I can't remember if it did or not. I didn't. That was before I
was really into
really following movie productions from start to finish.
But there has been movies that have been rushed by not only the companies that are putting the movie out, but also by the fans. And then you get what you want, and guess what? It turns to crap in your hands. Yep. So give Ben Affleck enough time to get this movie nice and polished, get everything worked right, and like you said, this could easily be the best Batman movie we have ever seen.
Mm-hmm. People just need to be patient with it.
Yep.
Now, kind of keeping up with the DC movies, DC and Warner Brothers are moving full steam ahead with their planned Green Lantern Corps film. Deadline reports that Batman Begins, Man of Steel, and Batman v Superman scribe David Goyer is penning the script, along with Justin Rhodes, who wrote Contract Killers. Goyer is also producing the film with DC head Jeff Johns, executive producing. Goyer and Johns conceived the story together. Green Lantern Corps is described as lethal weapon in space and will be an origin story of sorts. It follows both Hal Jordan and John Stewart and focuses on Marine Sniper Stewart's relationship with Jordan and the Lantern Corps. The film doesn't have a director yet, though Mad Max Fury Road director George Miller was linked to the project earlier this year, and there are currently no actors attached to play either of the two leads. Now, I'll say this. if George Miller did this movie, oh my God, I would be so excited for it.
It would definitely add a little bit more excitement for it.
Because that man is in his late 60s, I think, and he made one of the best action movies I have seen in years in Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
And that's because there were very little CGI effects into it. Have you seen the movie?
I still have not seen it.
It's so good. It's really, really good. It's very intense and at times very violent, but the way it's done is just, it's like watching art in a way. So what do you think of this following? It's an origin story, but instead of having to pick between Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, they're having both.
I actually like that. I think that could actually work well in favor for this movie. Now, I've always been a fan of the Green Lantern Corps. I've always enjoyed, all the movies that have come out with it. I mean, not the movie, but the animated movies, to clarify. But I think that'll be well, because there's fans who are fans of Hal Jordan, and there's fans who are a fan of Stewart, and bringing them together, kind of like, okay, well, we don't have to fight over which one's going to be in the first movie. I like it, and also, I posted a picture proving that Vice President Joe Biden is now a Green Lantern.
In darkest day, in blackest night. This doesn't make you Green Lantern, Joe.
I saw that, and I was like, oh, I've got to share that. It was hilarious.
Those memes are the best.
They are pretty dank, if you want to call it what
there was one meme with Donald Trump and whoever is
Pence.
Yeah. And Trump's like, if your memes aren't as dank as Biden's, you're fired.
Yeah.
Which, have you heard the Mark Hamill reading? Those are so good.
So good.
For those who haven't watched it or listened to them, Mark Hamill reads Donald Trump tweets as the Joker.
And it is so good.
They are amazing.
Especially like his New Year's post about his haters and stuff like that. Oh my gosh.
Mark Hamill is so good.
He is.
I'm a huge Mark Hamill fan.
I love him to death.
He is so good. But no, I think this is the right way to go with the movie. I think as far as the Lethal Weapon in space deal, it's Hal Jordan, so it's going to have its humor in it.
Oh, yeah.
I think having it be a little bit lighter but have some fun, cool special effects would be a nice contrast to Batman versus Superman.
What's really funny is you look at Lethal Weapon in itself. You have Mel Gibson, who is the crazy, funny one, and that's Hal Jordan. Mm-hmm. And you have Glover's, who's the more like, I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
And that fits right there with Jon Stewart. Both of them pretty much has a stick up their butts. Yeah. And like the portrayal, like once you said that, like it clicked. I was like, this is perfect. Like that's exactly what it's going to be. And if they have the same banter as they do in Lethal Weapon,
it could be fun.
It could be fun.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people will be like, Lethal Weapon, and like that could be a deterrent. Don't let it be a deterrent. Let it bring you in, because I think that could be hilarious.
Oh, I do too. I would be really excited for the movie if that happened. Let's talk Flash.
Oh, I can talk that all day.
CW shows are coming back, I think, next week.
I've been withdrawals like,
and both those cliffhangers, I'm just like, hurry
especially
up.
Arrow. Good.
Oh my God.
You did catch
up, right? Yes, I did. Yeah, I've caught up on all the shows.
So what did you think of Laurel popping up? Spoilers.
It's okay. But I'm curious as to where they go with it.
Yeah, like
I was just like, what?
Like, because I had read where they were not bringing her back.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of think if she's coming back on a full-time basis, I think it's a mistake.
Me and my little brother Trevor talked, because it's funny because like Trevor was talking, how is she back? And there's talks with Talia al Ghul, which is Ra's al Ghul's other daughter, coming in.
She is going to be in.
Yeah, and that the Lazarus Pit's not the only Lazarus Pit on Earth. Mm-hmm. And I was telling Trevor about all this stuff and how Talia's.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
that's actually a really good idea.
And Talia is the mother of Batman's son, Damian. Mm-hmm. So, and I was like, we may even get a Batman in an Arrow one day. I mean,
If there was a Batman reference, I'd geek out.
If all of this ties together, like I'm getting excited talking about it. And Trevor was like, "You need to stop." I was like, "I cannot handle all this." I'm like, "I'm sorry." I was like, "I just need to, I need to vent." And like, I think it could either be that or the news lady that he's getting friendly with. She might have like drugged him, and he could be seeing.
Could be.
I mean, it's just so.
There's something I'm very curious to see where they go with it.
Because Talia is supposed to be in it once they come back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that very well could be because, I think that. I don't know. There's just so much.
Yeah.
But there are other Lazarus pits, so we never know.
Well, as far as Flash goes, we'll be seeing the return of one of my favorite villains in the whole show, Gorilla Grodd. I love Grodd. I love, like, the CG on him is good for a TV show, but they use it so well because obviously they don't have the budget that a movie would.
Yeah.
So they use a lot of shadows and, close-ups or wide shots or, a lot of things to mask that. And he's going to be coming back for a 2-part episode. I have no idea what they're going to do with it, but it doesn't matter. I love Grodd so much. I would love like a 4-part or even a half-season arc where it's the Flash against Grodd and the Gorilla Army.
That would be cool. And I'm thinking, I don't think that they could do the Gorilla Army in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But wherever they sent him, wasn't it Earth 2 or?
Yeah.
What if he was able to, make the gorillas there, super intelligent as well. There's just so many ways that they could go with this, and he was able to build something to help him traverse from Earth 2 back to Earth 1, or are they going to Earth 1? Because the original Wells, are one of the original Wells is in Earth 2 right now. He went back, so he could be asking for their help, and him and oh my gosh, his partner, the long-haired guy,
Cisco,
Jesus, opens up the little portal thing and they go. So there's a lot of different things that they could do with this, and it just needs to get here. Like I can't wait much longer for an Arrowverse or anything. Yeah,
I think in the next week or two I'm going to try to do an Arrowverse roundtable on my show.
Oh, you need to,
because that's something that a lot of us watch.
Yeah.
So those have become like one of my favorite things to do.
And
the roundtables.
I think a roundtable would do well because there's a lot of people around here that watch it, and it's huge news. Like even people who aren't huge fans of comic book stuff watch this, and oh my gosh, Arrow, and,
absolutely,
and Flash, and even the Legends.
That I haven't caught up on.
You need to, because like I've preached, as I've said many times, I've preached the gospel of the Legends of Tomorrow because this season has been fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen of the congregation. Now, before we get to the Marvel portion of the news, we have a new sponsor, Robbie.
We do, guys.
We have a sponsor for all of our podcasts. For you, the listeners of the Nerd Cave podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. And they have over 180,000 books to choose from. That's a lot of books.
It is.
Do you have any that you can recommend? Because I know you're way more into books than I am. Now, I have downloaded the app, and I will be getting... actually, I don't know what I'm going to get for my free book.
Dude, I know you're a big fan of Star Wars, so I would definitely say either start the Bane trilogy or the Thrawn trilogy. Both you cannot go wrong with. Like the Bane trilogy is you got Path of Destruction, Rule of Two, a Dynasty of Evil. There's a book called Dark Disciples. It talks about a Jedi, like a Jedi Master that's having to work with Ventress he turns to the dark side and then comes back. Like, so many good books. Game of Thrones is an audiobook. If you like horror stories, like horror movies, there's a Star Wars book called Red Harvest, and there's another one that goes along with it that's more of a thriller. And, obviously Mass Effect. If you're a gamer, they have Mass Effect books, Halo books, Gears of War books, and all of them have been. I know there's a few I can't remember the names that are in the Mass Effect area. That was not good, but there's a vast majority of all of them are so good. And you also have Aragon. You have all of the Percy Jackson books. I mean, so many.
So to download your free audiobook today, all you have to do is go to audibletrial.com/nerdcave. Again, that's audibletrial.com/nerdcave for your free audiobook.
It's funny that we talk about Audible. I mean, Netflix is obviously next, right? Because we plug Audible and Netflix so much.
If we get Netflix, I have to bring back my catchphrase. Shout out to Netflix.
Shout out to Netflix.
So let's move on to some Marvel movie news. Deadpool, huge success.
Yep.
Possible award nominations. Deadpool 2 has been confirmed for a while. There will be some returning characters who were quite popular in the Deadpool movie. We have Colossus.
Certain teenager to go along
and
with it.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead will be coming back as well. I'm looking up the guy's name right now. I'm not seeing it, but the cab driver is coming back as well.
Was it Mohin? No.
Let's see. Deadpool's friendly and funny taxi driver, Dopinder. Yeah.
That was close.
So all three of them will be coming back. I'm excited for Deadpool 2.
I am too. I know. I don't think it's gotten a director as of yet.
I think it has the John Wick director, though I can't remember his name.
As long as they got that, because I know that they've already confirmed a Deadpool 3 before they even had a director for the second one, which is kind of iffy. But Deadpool, the first one, blew everybody away. It was mature. It was hilarious. It had a lot of really good action and a lot of good one-liners. I'm excited for this. I'm especially excited for the cab driver to come back because the banter between those two were hilarious. So, good job of bringing them back. Also like Colossus and Miss Attitude coming back. So, I mean, I think they have some good stuff to work with on this one, and I'm hoping that it turns out to be great.
Yeah, I think so too. Avengers, two big stories coming from Avengers Infinity War. Peter Dinklage is rumored to play a role in this movie. Played Bolivar Trask in Days of Future Past. On IGN, they had an article, 5 characters that Peter Dinklage could play. To me, the one that I'd love to see him play is MODOK.
MODOK, definitely, because, MODOK always had, very good, one-liners, very good little, catchphrases and stuff like that. And, watching Peter Dinklage in Game of Thrones, like one of his biggest thing is, I drink and I know things. Mm-hmm. And that was a huge quote. People said that all the time. And I think that he'd look the part. He could pull it off. I'm good with it. I want him to be it.
For sure. Also dealing with Infinity War, this is a rumor, and this could cause some controversy if this happens. There's a rumor doing the rounds that Benedict Cumberbatch will require a stand-in for his scenes as Doctor Strange in Marvel's Infinity War due to a scheduling conflict. It seems Benedict Cumberbatch won't actually be on hand to film his Doctor Strange scenes for Avengers Infinity War and will require a stand-in until he can reshoot his close-ups and record his dialogue at a later date. The Sherlock star is also playing Thomas Edison in the current war, which is shooting in London at the moment and is expected to overlap with production on Marvel's Epic, creating a scheduling conflict. Apparently, Broadway actor Aaron Lazar has been hired as the stand-in. Excuse me. Though it's best to treat this as a rumor for the time being, this report comes from the UK's Daily Mail, who has been on point when it comes to Marvel-related scoops in the past. Assuming it is on the level, does this suggest that Doctor Strange won't have a very big role in Avengers Infinity War?
Now, I know it came out a week or two ago stating a lot of the people who were going to be in Infinity War, And there's no way that, with all the characters that are going to be in Infinity War, is they're going to be, besides the main Avengers, they're not going to have a lot of screen time. So I think, you'll see them, battling and stuff like that, but I don't think you're going to see like a real in-depth like scene with you'll see it with a few of them. I would have loved to have seen it with Doctor Strange because, the more Cumberbatch, the better.
Oh, absolutely.
But, we got to take it as it is. I hate to say we have to pander to the actors and actresses, but, sometimes when it's something like this, you can't help it. So you just kind of got to roll with your punches and go with it. I still think Infinity War is going to be an amazing Marvel movie. Potentially could be one of the best one. But you just kind of have to look at it objectively and think, well, he does have other things going and he can't be in everything. And even if he was in this one, I still think that Doctor Strange would have had a very small part.
I think it really depends on what they want to do with him. I would love to see Doctor Strange have a big role in the movie because I think if Robert Downey Jr. were to ever leave the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that Doctor Strange would kind of take that role as the face of Marvel. Because to me, Robert Downey Jr. / Tony Stark is the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That I would love to see. It really depends. It's a rumor, so it could very well not be true. I hope there's at least one or two scenes that involve him with the other primary Avengers. Yeah,
and you do see in the comics a lot where Doctor Strange will come in and help the Avengers out. So, you never know. It could be a pretty big part, but we'll just have to see where everything goes.
And we'll get a lot of Doctor Strange in Thor Ragnarok because he's teaming up with Thor and the Hulk.
I'm so excited.
Which, have you read the synopsis for Ragnarok?
I'm staying as far away from everything.
I won't say anything.
I just rewatched Planet Hulk the other day just to get psyched for this because we know that the armor and everything from Planet Hulk is going to be in Ragnarok. And I was just watching it, and all I could think about was Ragnarok.
I'm really excited for it. I think it could be one of the better Marvel movies.
I do too, and I think that if they portray it right, that it's just going to be it's going to be amazing. I'm sure it will be, and I hope it is.